Today, we are going to be talking about the new units that got added in this update of AnimeDefenders. So basically, AnimeDefenders update for part 2. We are going to be talking about the 3 new secrets that got added, and trust me, we have to talk about them because they are a very interesting unit that deserve an entire video to themselves because they're just amazing units, but also kind of bad units. But y'all don't forget, because we are going to be doing a giveaway at 20,000 subscribers. We are going to be doing a pro gamer giveaway at 20,000 subscribers, and at 25,000 subscribers we are going to be doing an almighty secret unit giveaway. So if you want to be part of these giveaways, all you have to do is like and subscribe. Join our Discord. We have a huge community there, and we also do giveaways there. So yeah, subscribe to be part of these giveaways and also to see awesome guides and tips on AnimeDefenders. So yeah, let's get this video started. So I already have one of the units right now, which is actually Lunar Huntress. I haven't really gotten Solar Emperor yet or Solar Slayer, but there is an interesting thing with these units. Okay, so I already watched some of their showcases. I already know the damage that these units do. We're gonna start with the banner unit, which is actually this one right here to place, or he is the cheapest secret unit to place. However, there's a problem with this unit. Okay, there's a big problem with this unit, and his big problem, so he's the cheapest unit right now and also the one with the most placement, but the problem with him is his damage is actually kind of mediocre, kind of terrible. So he does have an awesome passive where this unit gains 2% damage for every unit in its range. The maximum of this buff is 50%. Let's actually go check out his damage. Right now we are watching Mr. Rhino. So even though Mr. Rhino said insanely good in AnimeDefenders, I'm gonna tell you right now that he is not insanely good. And let's actually go take a look at his stats. So this is at level 48. I don't think he is evolved already. Yeah, never mind. He's already evolved. So this is his evolved stats at level 48. Obviously without Almighty. But since he's a 5 placement unit, you wouldn't really want Almighty on him. So let's actually go take a look at his damage. His damage at max is 14,000 with a cooldown of 9.4 seconds. If you times that by 5, that's only around 74,965. And remember, you aren't really going to be able to upgrade all 5 of them in a normal game mode. So like even Bear King, I think, would do more damage than him, since Bear King has bleed and also has insane stats and good damage. He is right now, as it currently stands, the worst unit in the game. Okay, like whatever anybody says, he is the worst unit in the game right now. So yeah, with that being said, Grand Aether Knight is the worst unit in this update. Now, he might also be the worst secret in this update, in the entire AnimeDefenders right now because of his damage and stuff. He is just super bad, guys. I can't really recommend him. He's just kind of terrible. There's genuinely going to be some mythics that are probably gonna do more damage than Grand Aether Knight, and it's actually kind of insane. Let's move on to the next unit that we have to talk about in this update, which is going to be the 2 best portal units that just got added. Now, these units, they're kind of complicated to talk about because they're good, but they're also kind of bad, and let me explain to you why. And for that, let's start with the Solar portal unit. So Solar Overlord is a good unit. Okay, he's a good unit, but he's not the best unit. I wouldn't even consider him in the meta, to be honest, because there's a few things that you need to know about him. So his deployment cost is 2,500, even more, already more expensive than Igris. His number of upgrades is 11. His placement count is 3. However, his damage is kind of terrible. If you don't know already, let's actually go take a look at another YouTuber showcasing his damage. So this is, shout out to Mosking, by the way. Nice channel here, dude. Very nice. Yeah, he has a very overpowered Solar Overlord here with double trait Almighty, actually. So here, we can see that at max level, I don't know the level of his Solar Overlord, but at max level, he's gonna do around 81,000 damage. Or sorry, max upgrade 81,000 damage with Almighty. Yeah, his Solar Overlord is only around level 40. So let's just assume that he's gonna do around 100,000 damage. Again, if you take into consideration, 100,000 damage is actually not a lot for a secret unit. Now, he does have a 1% increased damage buff per wave. So 100,000 plus 50. Let's say for example 50,000 is going to be 150,000, but again, that's only going to be good for infinite, and that's where this unit actually really shines, infinite modes, because arguably he's a very good infinite unit. Because if you add Crimson Spirit on top of him, if you put Crimson Spirit and have Dragon Mage, he's actually gonna have a 100% boost in his burn damage, So the best trait for him would definitely be Crimson Spirit. But again, the number one weakness of this unit is his true power or his true potential is only really gonna shine during Infinite, and also when you're past 50 waves, and also when you have Almighty. Because I would say that if you don't have Almighty, he's gonna be kind of bad. If you don't have Crimson Spirit and Dragon Mage to boost him, he's also going to be kind of mad, or kind of bad. So if you have those units, Dragon Mage, Crimson Spirit, and you're doing Infinite, then I think Solar Overlord is going to be a pretty decent unit. But without those stuff, if you're not doing an Infinite, you're just doing a challenge, a story, I think Solar Overlord is going to be kind of a bad unit, especially with his damage and stuff like that. So that's it for Solar Overlord. Let's now talk about the best unit that was added in this update, which is Lunar Sorceress or Lunar Huntress, whatever you want to call her. So this is the unevolved version. So this is without Almighty. So S-stats unevolved, he is doing around, or she is doing around 2,182 damage at level 46. She can do a lot of damage, okay? So here is actually an image of her with Almighty and evolved. She's doing around 18,000 damage at placement. This could be higher when she's at level 70. It probably will be higher. But the number one problem with Lunar Empress, the evolved version of Lunar Hunter, is that she is actually super duper expensive to place. So, for instance, she is 217,500 to max, which is more expensive than Dragon Mage at 177,000. And on top of that, she's also her on placement damage is only 5,800. This is without Almighty. And by the way, if you don't get Almighty on this unit, you'll be a bad unit. Full stop. She'll be a bad unit without Almighty, because even without Almighty, her placement count is only 1. So this means that if you don't get Almighty on her, you're technically cooked, because she is only a 1 placement unit, even without Almighty. So she does have a very awesome ability that gains a 1% increased damage buff per 20 kills. So she can get up to 2,000, up 2 times damage. So again, she is the best unit right now for Infinite. But again, here's the problem here. Even though she is a very good unit, there's a little bit of a problem here. And the problem is, she's only really good for Infinite. She's not gonna be good for 90% of the other game modes. The only 2 game modes where she will probably be good at is going to be Infinite and Hall of Mirrors. Potentially, if you could upgrade her to max. She's gonna be kind of bad still, because 200,000 gold to get her to max level is gonna be kind of bad. On top of that, her range is actually kind of bad. So let me actually show you something right now. So right here, when I try to place him or her, this is at A minus, the range of Lunar Huntress. So she's just bad in terms of range. Her range does get better when she's fully upgraded, but again, 217,000 gold is almost impossible for her to upgrade. On normal game modes like raids and other game modes, she's gonna be kind of weak there. So yeah, that's the number one problem with these units. So with that being said, I'm going to conclude that this update and the units that was added in this update was specifically made for secret runs. And they're specifically made for leaderboard runs, in my opinion, because honestly, leaderboard runs. They are specifically made for leaderboard runs and for players that want to get in the leaderboard, which in my opinion is actually such a shame, because 98% of the game modes in this game is not even going to last you long enough for you to upgrade to this unit to max, or Lunar Huntress to max. So she's kind of a very good unit in Infinite, but I wouldn't put her in the meta in most of these other game modes, because again, she's super expensive. Yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully, in the next update, if they decide to add a secret farm unit, then maybe she's gonna be super useful, because right now, she's just unusable in a lot of these other game modes because she's super expensive. That's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's gonna be it, guys, and peace out, everybody.